Hi everyone, and welcome to She. Today on the show, I have such a treat for you because we're discussing something that is the bone, like the backbone of this society, and it is marriage. And so many times, and especially in this generation, we take marriage so lightly. And I don't mean everybody, but I just feel like marriage is not taken with the seriousness that it deserves, the intentionality, the taking time to learn, to build each other so that, this marriage, this foundation of family and where the children are born can be what it's supposed to be. And so on the show today, we'll be discussing, does marriage really work? Can people be in a marriage and truly be happy? And are there like tips and, like 7 steps to a successful kind of marriage? So we'll be discussing all those things. And I have the most amazing couple. And they are more than just a couple. They also, do marriage right. Yes. And also support so many other people to do marriage. So you don't want to go anywhere. You want to call every married couple or married to be human, out there, so that they just, check in here and listen to this amazing people. So karibu sana.
Asante.
And thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. I'll let you guys introduce yourself. Maybe we start with the lady.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Grace Acholi, and I'm a marriage and relationship coach.
Wow.
I've been married for 28 years this year.
Wow. 28?
Yeah, 28 years.
Wow.
We have 3 children, 2 adults and 1 baby girl, two boys, Niza, Uziel, and Shekinah. That's our baby girl. And we, as I said, we are marriage and relationship coaches, so we do a lot of marriage therapy. We also do premarital. And those who are also saying that now it's over, we need to, let's give it one more chance before we go to the court. So that's what we do. And we are also authors. We've written 2 books. The first one is Marriage Thistles and Flowers, and the second one is Navigating Conflict, how to deal with conflict in marriage. Wow. So that's who we are, unless Barnabas wants to add on to something.
You made a mistake, Faith. You asked the lady, she has said everything.
So you're like, what do I add?
What do I add? Well, I'm Barnabas Acholi, yes, and I've been married to Grace for the last 28 in August. Yeah, I think she has said it all.
Okay.
Yes, we are passionate working with couples, helping people in their relationships, and that's what we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I love, just listening to even what you do, because I think it's such good work, and I know good does not even begin to describe it, but it's such good work for this generation. Because if there's a sort of relationship that has, had such attack, and that maybe people don't know how to do, and like we were saying earlier, people are just doing by themselves. I think it's marriage.
Yes.
And maybe take us through your journey, like let's just start by first knowing, how did you know he's the one? Because I think sometimes, or how did you know she's the one? Because I think sometimes you get married and then you're like, this is not the person I was supposed to be married to, So 28 years, like you must be sure this was the one, right? So maybe take us through that journey of, just meeting this person and getting married, and, how those first years look like. Those first years that they say are the make or break.
Yes.
I'd really want to hear that story from both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met many, many years ago, almost 30 years now, through a friend. I was in college in India and studied there, and then we were students together, and so there was this lady I initially thought I would marry, but I just somehow didn't work, and so she came back and we kept in touch, and then one day after I've come back from India church, she tells me she's getting married to somebody else, of course, and then she comes to see me, and she comes with this wonderful friend of hers. And that's when I first met Grace. No. Yes. And so because of this common friend we had, so during our wedding, Grace was one of the bridesmaids, I was a groomsman. And so our point of reference always was this common friend. And so we kept bumping to each other. They were working out of town in Kerugoya. And so whenever they would be back in Nairobi, we'll just meet, and then so she came back to Nairobi, and one day just decided to ask her out for a date. And I didn't know, but I just felt, because she had given me her number. So in those days we didn't have mobile phones.
Oh, no.
So which number was this? It's like
the office line. Offices helped us a lot.
Office line.
I'm so glad I was born in this generation. I don't know.
And it was through the reception.
It was through the reception. You had to book a number through the reception. Yes. And I think it had to be official. Then you allowed a few personal calls, which you're charged.
You're charged, yes.
You're charged. Yes, I used to tell them. I remember the receptionist used to say, "Ile namba yangu." That was her number.
Oh dear.
So we'll call and meet at. We make this joke. We used to meet at coffee house, Nairobi, a finance house. Nairobi coffee house at finance house. I don't think it's still there at Banana Street.
Yeah.
So Grace was working in Westlands. I was working in South Sea, and so we will come and converge in town, and we'll sit. And again, that time there was no 24-hour economy. So 9 o'clock the restaurants will be closed, and we will always be the last ones to leave there. Yeah. So anyway, as we got meeting and talking, I think for about like 3 months, I came to a place I realized, this taking coffee, it's becoming too much. So we need to define this relationship. And I knew I had to do something. Okay. And so we went to a friend's place in Kikuyu. That's his shags. He had invited us for a fellowship with the mother's fellowship.
Wow.
So these guys who are together in India, college mates. So when we were there, we asked them to pray for us. We asked mamas to pray for us. All of us were single. So just pray for us. And one of the ladies there saying, "One of you here, God has given you a wife, but you are still hesitant."
Hey, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I knew it was me. None of my friends said anything, but I knew it was me.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So I knew I had to do, because I got to a place I knew we had to define this relationship.
Yes.
I needed to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hearing that from this mama, I thought, I need to meet Grace. So I called her and I said, we need to meet. And then I aired my intentions. I said, okay, this relationship, I think we need to take it to the next level. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
And for me, I think the thing is, how did I know that it was him? I was coming from a broken relationship. I was in a relationship, a serious relationship. In fact, the pastor had introduced us in the church and told the church, pray for these guys. They are planning to get married and all that.
Wow.
Then things didn't work out. Niliachwa kwa mataa. And so I was really hurting. By the time I was meeting him, I think I was at that place where I was hurting. I didn't want anything to do with men, especially brothers. I'd said, I do not want anything to do, because we were youth leaders. I mean, how then? When we met, we went out for a coffee a couple of times, and I told him my story. I told him that I was coming from a broken relationship and I was healing, and he was encouraging me. He started therapy long time ago. So he was
she was my first class.
So that was his strategy.
So the therapist married the client. So we went on and on, but along the way, of course, I got my healing. I felt that I was ready.
Okay.
And when I saw him, I don't think it was love at first sight, because the day when I met him through this friend of ours, the common friend, because we worked with that friend in Kerugoya. God bless Rosa Jahira. She's such a wonderful lady. But when we got to Mahat, I saw the serious part of Barnabas, and I thought, wow, this is a serious guy. I mean, he's really serious with the Lord. In my heart, I felt I was ready, and this is the person that God was now leading me to, because the other other people who had approached along the way, but they were not bold enough to make that move. But he was.
He did.
He did.
I know you're married. You say 28 years in August.
Yeah.
How are the first 10 years? Like, what do you think worked? What didn't work? What did you learn? I know that's a packed question, but unpack it in the way you feel is right and as the Lord leads you. But I'm just so curious, was there like a certain challenge and, you were able to come around, and perhaps God has used that for even the couples that you lead. But how are those first, like 10, 15 years? Because those are the years that really, I don't think it even gets to 15 really. I think it's the first 10 years. How was that for you? And anyone can go first.
And not even 10, actually the first 5 years.
The first 5 years.
We say as soon as the honeymoon is over, and that takes anything between 6 months to 2 years, then the realities of life start settling in. And Grace talked about us having recently launched our second book, which is really a manual, navigating the storm. We call it navigating the storm. And the reason for this is this, Faith. We realize that just from our own experience, many marriages struggle in those years. And there are certain habits when you form in that, from those years, becomes a habit 10, 15 years. And you realize you're still doing the same thing over and over and over again. And with that reality, for us, it was just the conflicts that we had. I mean, we had sharp conflicts. There were expectations. We come into marriage with expectations. So that now suddenly the honeymoon is over. Now you see the person for who they are. and we are like night and day. We come from different backgrounds, and so we give this story so often. We call it the chicken story. So, in a family, when you have we have chicken for dinner, and the following day we are at home, so we want to eat the leftovers from what remained last night. And chicken is not like meat where everything is standard. Chicken has parts. So there are those parts that I eat, people love, and so you select the choice parts the night before. And so the following day, what will happen is that Grace will select the best of the leftovers and give the children.
I'll do the same.
And that will make me upset. And so it will bring war. And I didn't know, but it was brooding within me. And then one day I had enough. And I told her, no, this is unfair. And Grace was shocked. Because I was suddenly now making noise, seemingly because of food. And she even made a mistake and said, you're making noise just because of a chicken? You can go and get for your whole chicken.
From Ken chicken.
From Ken chicken.
I know, right?
And that's how I blew off. I got so mad. Anyway, so later on, as sometimes you call yourself to a meeting in a month. So what was that? And we got to talk, at one of those moments we started talking about just our upbringing. And this is what I realized, Faith. I came from a home where my dad was treated like a king. My dad ate the best. He was given the best.
Choices.
As kids will eat whatever, but him, yes. So I didn't know that that's an expectation I came into marriage. And so when I'm seeing this chicken being done the way it's being done,
you're like, hey, I'm not on my throne.
Somebody got me out of that throne.
This one is not respecting me.
She's very disrespectful.
She's very disrespectful. She's not
to her mother
like her husband.
And be taught which parts
are bad to read.
Yes. And for me, I was coming from, my background is my father was, I would say, the meekest man on earth. Then, of course, I have Barnabas. But for us, whenever we had chicken, my dad would give us the best. Not the leftovers. I'm not talking about the leftovers. He would always say, let the children have.
First,
then I will have mine later. So he was so concerned about what we ate. In fact, sometimes when my mother was not looking, he would call us and put something on our plate. I mean, that was daddy. So I'm thinking, where does this man come from? I mean, didn't your father teach you that the children go first or eat the best? And I thought, how mean can you be? And the more I thought about it, the more I also got frustrated, and it was such a heated debate, and I thought, I can't do this. I can't do this.
So how did you solve that? Like, I'm seated here and I don't know whose side to be on. You know, I'm like, he's making sense, you're making sense. So how do you, because I guess that's how you get to a stalemate in marriage.
Exactly.
And it's never even a big issue. It's always a chicken story.
Exactly.
You know, just small things, juice, you know, just small things.
Toothpaste, small things.
And you see, now we can laugh about it.
Yes.
A lot of these things sometimes is based on our background, our personalities. So it's not, I cannot change her and she cannot change me. And so we've learned to now go beyond that. So just hearing that and seeing where she's coming from, me coming from, she was able to understand, oh, this guy is coming from somewhere. And I was able to understand she's coming from somewhere. And we're coming from different places.
I hear you.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying, that it's not about right or wrong.
Yeah.
Because we all have different, perspectives on issues. And it's just like if I drew a number 6 here, and to him, that's a 9. To me, it's a 6. So we are both right. But we're just wondering, okay, how do we navigate so that I come to your side and see that it's really a 9? Or he comes to my side and he will see that it's a number 6.
I get you.
So a lot of battles and a lot of conflicts that we faced in our first years of marriage, I thought, I wish there are people who would have sat down with us to tell us, look, it's not about this. It's more than this. It could be a background issue, or it could just be that you're different. And you look at things differently. I mean, when with your sisters and brothers, you will not always be on the same page. So how much more somebody who did not grow up with you?
And I think, Faith, what makes it even more difficult, and we had a lot of fights. Those early years, oh my goodness. In fact, she used to say, hey, did I leave I left my husband at the altar. This other guy.
For real?
Grace will cry and say that so many times. I think we were very intense with what, so it was.
I just love the honesty, but go ahead.
And you see, Faith, these are things we're not taught.
The
conflict we saw in our families of origin either was nasty, things flying everywhere, or we never saw anything because they would hide. And then being Christians, also coming to church also doesn't know how to handle conflict. A lot of things are hushed.
It's true.
We feel that we all have to agree. So we all have to be, even though I may not agree fully with what the other person is saying, I am forced to be politically correct, religiously correct. And I've seen that, we're seeing that now a lot working with couples. Couples were in their early years, they wanted to be, what can I say, maybe relationally correct, so they did voice certain things. Now 15 years into marriage, suddenly the real thing is coming out.
Because you can't bottle it anymore.
Exactly, and somebody's shocked. I thought all along you were happy. I said, no, I never agreed. That was not my thing. So it's to know that we don't have to agree on everything.
Yes.
But it's to understand why she sees it as a 6, I see it as a 9.
Growing up, my father taught us, he was a hands-on man. So he taught us a lot of things, how to repair the toilet, the iron box, and all that. So for him, when we got married, I thought, the toilet handle is broken. Why don't you have a look at it? And he said, apana me. I went to school, and so I believe in employment. I'm going to call a fundi to come. I said, but these are simple things. So my expectations of a husband were uko juu. He must do this. He must know how to repair things. He must know how to. Sister, we don't have to call fundis. That is wasting money. We can do these things. So for him, he found me being again very disrespectful because he thought, take the person that you're seeing. Respect me. You can't expect me to do everything because I don't expect you also to do everything.
And I know finances is such a big issue. And maybe you can tell us, I don't know, but I feel like it's such a big issue in so many marriages. How did you overcome that for yourselves? Or what would you tell a lot of the couples? Because I know it's a big issue. What have you seen dealing with couples, and what's the way out of that? Because I think it's like one of the leading problems. I think the chicken story is one, these small things, and I think finances is another.
Finances is huge because you know, when it comes to money, it's not really money per se. It's control and power. That's what plays around.
Okay.
And so the one who calls the shot, who earns more or feels that they're bringing more into the table, wants to have certain control. And that can make the other one also now resist.
Take a step back.
And so we're seeing more and more with couples now, people even go separate ways where their finances are concerned.
Yeah.
And so for us, I remember there are times we used to do this, we would always go for a retreat as a couple and have plans now. Apart from just working on our relationship, just plan for the family. What is our 5-year plan? What is our this year? What we want to achieve this year? Yeah, it was. But so Grace will come with her budget and the things and say, now me, I'm thinking of things that are serious. You're bringing sufurias here.
It was land. You know what I'm saying? We need a new set of sufurias.
So you see, So now, for me, I dismiss that, I belittle that until when we are visitors and I'm realizing, she tells me, I have to go and borrow because
I get you.
That's a time. Okay, she had a point. So sometimes it's that because some people feel you're not taking my needs into consideration. And so that can be also a cause of conflict where finances are concerned. So because I'm feeling what is important to her, I'm not taking into consideration. And I'm feeling what is important to me should be what we should focus on. And sometimes that can be a very big, bring a big conflict where finances is concerned in a couple.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know a lot where there's conflict, a lot of couples also don't agree on, do we have the same one bank account? Do we have a bank account where we all pour into that one pot? You know, we have different salaries, but
or the way they say the lady's money is hers, and for the money is for everyone. Or a lady needs to have a secret account because men, you know, when they see money, they use it or stuff like that. I'm very curious. What you think
when they see money, cheaper now, you know, that vein, you can just see, and the blood is hot. But the thing is, remember, we come also from a society and where women in those days did not work and the man was the sole breadwinner. And as we get married, the orientation that we come into marriage with is that, hey, always have that mattress account. You don't have to tell your husband everything because as a woman you need to save for that rainy day. Let him struggle. I mean, you can be having 200K under the mattress, but he's looking for only 50K. No, menyamaza too. That's what our aunties and our mothers tell us. And it's because of where they were coming from, because they really did suffer. But in this day and age, you know, we are coming together as one. We are saying that your people will be my people. Your body is my body. Your things are my things. So then why can't we put our monies together and see the two becoming one and becoming stronger? Of course, if there is one person who is careless, then you need to think twice. If the spouse will clear the account and go and do something that you have not agreed on, then there is, you know, you need to take caution.
I know there are very many type of conflicts in various marriages. And as the Lord leads you, I'd want you to speak into these various marriages. You know, people have been married, could be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And the conflicts, whether it's the chicken story or what they think is bigger, in-laws or, you know, just all these other issues that could be there. You know, what would you tell this sort of couple? You know, guys who are, they've reached their end. Is there, you know, start here, then here, then here? You know, what would you encourage this sort of couples? You know, you mentioned where maybe someone is careless with money. Maybe this person is addicted to the casino or betting or whatever. And, you know, you're there as the wife and you're trying to just manage and things like that. How would you encourage the marriages of today? You know, so that really these marriages can work and we can have more working than not. Of course, there are the situations where, you know, you'd probably say, okay, this one where it's reached, you know, just let it be. But if, for as long as there's hope, what would we say?
I think the important thing, Faith, is this, and I'm happy that many people are beginning to embrace this. Nothing wrong with seeking help from professionals. we didn't have that our time. The best we had maybe was our pastors, but not really. Going for counseling was seen as, hey, that's marriage is very.
One of you must be mentally
or hey, I didn't happen. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So being a wise lady then is to be able to communicate and say, when this happens, I feel
this
that I'm not a priority in your life. Now that a man can now quickly move into that space, as opposed to saying your mother, and the more you're talking with the mother, the more connecting with the mother, and that hurts you. So it's counterproductive.
I get you.
So look at ways of how you can get him to see that it's making you feel a certain way. And because he really loves you, he'll be able to connect with that and now separate your mother from the situation. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Maybe to add on to what he's saying, seek to have couple groups. People who are a support group, because sometimes we are so alone and we think we're the only one who is going through this, and yet as the Bible says that no temptation has come to you that is not common to man. So are there people that you can work with? Are there people who can help him see things or help her see things objectively?
Wow.
So have people who can work with you. Have somebody who is older. These are peers. I'm talking about peers. You have your peer group, but have a couple also who is older than you. We still have a couple who is older than us. That when things are thick and he thinks this girl, she needs to hear from another older woman, he will call that lady and we will have a talk. So do you have somebody who is older than you who is working with you? Then do you have a peer group?
And the older person is because of where you're going. Like now, for Grace and I, we are approaching the empty nester.
Yes.
We've not been there. So I need somebody who has been there to, what are the experiences? What happens?
How does it look like?
How does it look like? For the younger couples to see couples in the midlife, a lot of things happen in the midlife. So how have you navigated midlife? So there's always just some experiences we can learn. We've had to, unfortunately, sometimes learn things the hard way because we didn't have anybody who's gone before who was open enough and we could talk and share and tell us some of these things. Because some of these things we, like even the conflicts we had earlier on, and that's why we're really trying to help the younger couples. They don't have to go through what we went through.
That's true.
Because we've been there and we see, we can make it easier for these younger ones.
Wow.
And then have people that you are also mentoring. So it's up. You have people who are up, you have peers, but you have also others that you're mentoring. These ones will keep you on check. They will keep you on your toes and, hey, Bona, we are now quarreling about this small thing. What are we going to tell this one? Can we sit down and resolve before we go for that group? So it helps you to just keep you in check.
Wow. And we can't end this show without, it's 28 years. And maybe some guys can be like, maybe these guys are doing fast PR. Like, has there been any highlights, so that people can actually see that you guys are happily married? I'm convinced. Let's convince the people. Just name one highlight. What has been your highlight the last 28 years and for you as well?
I think for me the highlight is doing what we do together.
Wow.
And we've been able to, just do couple things. And sometimes unknowingly people come and say, we like the chemistry. Now, we've not sat down to see how we can work that chemistry. It just comes out. And that has, to me, has been a highlight. Highlights have been, times we've spent away, just the two of us. Those to us are very, very important. That's normally the highlight. On top of the busy schedules and the conflicts that we have, but the moments when we just enjoy each other's company, the friendship, the spending time, the traveling together for me, that has been a highlight. Just being away, just the two of us.
Wow.
For me, it is really just the friendship. That when he's away, 2 days there, yes. But after that, it's like, hey, daddy should come back. My honey should come back. So just the friendship and knowing that, hey, even though we go through difficult moments together, when I wait, I put it on a weighing scale, the laughters are more than the sorrows. And we can enjoy life together. That he's my buddy, he's my friend, he's my companion. He's not just a husband, but there is something more than a husband. And I can laugh and we can sit down and laugh and play together. We can pray together, but we also play together. And also just the fact that we are both born again and we have a common goal. There is something that we are pursuing. you know, that also just brings us together.
Wow.
Kabisa, that it's not us who is really allowing, it's not us who is driving this relationship. I mean, God is backing us up. And as much as we want it to work, God wants it to work also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. I guess we're starting a challenge today for every couple listening to us to go back home and tell each other what has been your highlight so far, whether you've been married a year, 5 years, 10 years, 28 years like you have. And I've really loved listening to you, just the different perspectives and the wisdom. Truly, like you said, I think it helps to have people who've gone before you. Because I'm just 10 years married, and thank God for that. And just listening to both of you, like I needed a notebook, just to write down everything, like when you said pray together but play together. I loved that, because I think it's true, the fun can't be pulled out of the marriage and all that. So thank you so much. And I agree with you. I see the chemistry. At some point, I could have just gotten up and sat on this other side. Your chemistry and your good stories and your fun is so evident. And I pray God blesses you with many, many, many more years. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've learned something. And see you next week right here on She. God bless you and keep you, and we love you. Bye.